Hello everyone, this is a psychic prediction video for August 2023. So this month coming up, currently it is July 30th, but the month of August is going to be the calm before the storm. So this is a good month to take advantage of that time before things start to ramp up. And I will explain more of what I mean by that later in this video. But just to get into the basics of what this month is about, the general energy is about the consciousness shifting, that being the way that things have been changing on the planet for the last 2 years or so that I've been talking about, and how it's going to continue to shift, especially into 2025 and 2026. This month is you could say, eye of the storm, but at the same time, there's a lot of energy around group-mindedness, working together, cooperation, and this is a great month for being able to feel like you can count on other people and not avoiding those types of situations with group dynamics, which is all part of the evolution of where we're heading within this big transition that's started a little bit before 2020. So, to get more into some predictions for the economy, what I got was that it's not going to be a tragic situation, but it's not going to be good either. It just doesn't seem like a great month economically. Although it may be a little disappointing, it also seems somewhat boring in the sense that not a whole lot is changing. But because of that, because it's just kind of continuing on, I think that it creates a sense of disappointment. So later in the year, around November, that's really where I see this economy getting worse for the United States in particular, but I guess you could say the world economy as well. And towards the end of the year, going into 2024, that whole time period I've been seeing for a while now as being very challenging. And this is going to continue until 2025, where there's going to be massive changes. These are going to be for the better and the worse. In some regards, worse because of politics, but better because of humanity waking up. And those two things are happening at the same time, and the politics are trying to kind of take that natural evolution hostage, if you want to call it that, and control it to basically control the natural process. But it is a positive overall because it is a natural process, and the energy is shifting, which is going to eventually make those politics crumble away. But for a temporary time, those politics will be in power. Although I do see that changing. However, back to this month, which is going to be August here soon, the economy seems to be floating along. Not great, but not too bad either. So Bitcoin, what I see for Bitcoin, the beginning of the month seems to be decent, pretty good for Bitcoin. It could go up a little bit, and then the rest of the month it seems to be coming down. So it doesn't seem like a great month for Bitcoin overall, but I don't see there being a big crash or anything like that either. Seems like it could go up at the beginning and come down the second half. When I was tuning into Joe Biden, I was seeing him being very overwhelmed with the direction that things are going in general, kind of on a macro level. But I don't see too much happening specifically within this month. Um, but I did get a vision of a nuclear threat. And it seems like this may be something that is coming up in the news or on people's mind. But I get the sense that it's mostly just a scare. And it could just be the news trying to find something to talk about. There's a change of perspective for Joe Biden that is going on that it's not really changing what's going on in the world too much, but it's more just a change within him that I was picking up on. And this is that his concerns are changing as people are telling him about bigger plans for the world economy. And these are people that he would answer to some degree. And it's as if a lot of the perspective he had on the U.S. economy and the importance of that is being minimized. And I don't want to get too far into politics because I will be posting some of this on my Patreon page. So I will just leave it for as that. But moving on to Putin, I was seeing a traffic jam symbolically representing Putin for the month coming up here. But it was a traffic jam of geopolitics. And I got the sense that he is stuck in a situation with many different countries trying to figure something out. So the first half of the month looks bad and confusing for him. But the second half of the month seems like he gains back some confidence, and there may be some sense of revenge or something kind of dark here. I was getting kind of like this dark, kind of cruel behavior, this kind of vengeful energy that may take over towards the end of the month for Putin. For Ukraine, it doesn't look particularly good for Ukraine for this month. I see Zelensky being deeply concerned as well as Putin. But overall, it doesn't seem too bad for Ukraine. It seems that in the following month, however, in September, things may start to look worse for Ukraine, and I've been saying this for a while now that there was this thing where Russia was going to, start doing better, and then they're going to ease off and then come back again, and we've seen that phase, and then we saw the thing with the Wagner group. That was when Russia was not doing great, and I've been saying they're going to come back, and I think that's going to be not so much August, but more so September, where Russia comes back with more force towards Ukraine. And I think by November, people will lose a little bit of their faith in Ukraine winning the war in the long term. And ultimately, I've said this many times before, I don't think that Ukraine is going to be victorious. I can't really say Russia is going to be victorious either, because it seems like neither of them really completely win anything, but I don't see Ukraine, well, basically, it doesn't look good for Ukraine as a country, is what I'm getting. So, moving politics aside, for people, I'm getting that there may be some fear in the world. I was just getting this fear energy in the second half of the month, that being August coming up here. And I was getting the sense that it's best not to freeze in place. That was kind of the advice that I was getting. and it was as if people are holding on too tight, and I'm seeing like their grip being too tight, and there being something about letting go and continuing to do what you enjoy in life, even if there may be some fear that some people may be experiencing. Overall, the energy is somewhat calm and stable, and this is going to be changing as we move forward towards the end of the year. The energy is going to shift. More rapid change is going to be happening. This is a nice month for, you know, doing the things that you want to do before the chaos sets in. So, you know, you can make plans, you can decide what you're going to do, rather than having sudden events happen that may change your plans and, you know, limit what you're able to do. So this month seems like a good month to take advantage of this time while you can. So when I asked what is this month good for, I got that this month is good for spending money. And that's something that's never come up for me before. So when I asked why is this a good month for spending money, I got that it's having to do with allowing new experiences to come in. And so sometimes if you're just sitting around and it's like you don't want to go out and spend money, sometimes you can just become stagnant, kind of like a hoarder, I guess you could say. And so that's just what was coming through to me. Some other things for what is the energy of this month good for is travel. I believe the previous month or two I was saying travel was not necessarily good, or not ideal, I guess you could say. But it seems like August is a good month for that. Also, of course, as I already said, doing what you want to do before the storm sets in energetically and things start ramping up, which is, it's not a negative thing, it's just when the energy shifts, when evolution of spirit takes place, things change, and change is chaos. So it makes things more difficult. One other thing that was coming to me was an image of someone setting alarms to keep up with their personal goals. And I was getting that people may need something like that in order to stay on track for this month, in order to do the things that they want to do while the time is available to do them. So what is this month bad for? Bad for stagnation in life due to fear or waiting. I feel I've already addressed these things, the fear and the sense of waiting. Also, being afraid of group dynamics is something to avoid. So you could turn that around and say that group dynamics are good for the month of August. That is a general trend that humanity is moving more and more towards. We're becoming more cooperative. We're becoming more group-minded. We're not as individual, but we're more working together as a team, and that's just the direction that we are going in the future as a macro movement for our future evolution. And we are taking baby steps along the way, and each month I am kind of addressing what is coming up within those baby steps. So to summarize for the month, the earth is changing. We are becoming more cooperative in nature, of course. We're also becoming more trusting this month in particular. And this may seem contradictory because of the current chaos going on in the world. But regardless of the chaos, this month seems to be great for fostering a sense of trust with other people. Self-centered and toxic behaviors are becoming incompatible with where the earth frequencies are taking us currently, especially in this month. And in following months, we will see a lot more of the chaos kind of shake that energy up and kind of shake it off, so to speak, so that it can no longer cling to reality. And right now, we're seeing more of the soft warm up to that. So it's a very calm kind of energy, of like a very calm healing energy, whereas later it's going to be more of like a clearing energy. Okay, so the following months, as I've said, are going to be more difficult leading into the year 2024, but of course it's a process of a change in consciousness for the better overall, even though there will be challenges. I was also getting that it may be wise to stock up on some things while they are cheap in case of difficult economic situations in the future. And I can't really say necessarily that this is going to be something you need to do, but I do get the sense that 2024 could be a rough year. So if you are the type of person to want to, stock up on some non-perishables or whatever, I feel like going into 2024 is probably a good time to do that, or do it now before it starts to ramp up. So the general advice, when I was asking, okay, what advice can I tell my YouTube subscribers, what came through was there may be a plan to wait for change to take place, but these changes will not happen this month. Maybe next month or the following months, but not this month. So this month, it is up to you to take charge and be the change. So be the change that you want to see, or be the change that you want to experience for yourself within your own life. Alright, that's the general reading for the month, but I had a few extra notes I wanted to bring up here. I've been booked for a while with my schedule, so if you have been wanting a private reading, I have not been available. So I will, in a couple days, probably be adjusting my schedule so you can sign up for readings on those days that will be available. Give it like a couple days or so on my website, psychictai.com. That's psychictai.com. Another thing is on my Patreon, I've created some more tiers for different content level because I've been doing more current events and news and things of that nature. And different people are interested in different types of content. So I've broken it up into 4 different tiers now. So you can join for as cheap as $5 a month. Then there's an $8 a month tier, a 10 and a 16. And if you want everything and altcoins and Bitcoin predictions, that's the highest. And the lowest is just the readings that I do. I do at least 3 videos a month where I do a reading on a person or an event. That is a important person in my opinion, usually, and they are usually done blind, meaning that I don't know who they are. I pick their name out of a random list of names, and these are people that I don't know. And so I do a reading on it and see what comes up, and then I look them up and kind of make some sense of the reading, and then from there I may do some further questions, which are no longer blind, but there's still I feel that there's still value to that, of course. So also, if you're interested in trying out my Patreon for this month exclusively, I'm doing a 1-week free trial for the lower tiers. If you want the Bitcoin and altcoin stuff, there's you have to sign up for that. But if you would like a free trial for my news and to have access to all of my previous readings on tons of controversial people, tons of people that are in the news, important figures in the world. You can have free access to that for 1 week if you sign up on my Patreon page for the free trial. The links will be below this video, so be sure to check those out. And also, if you would like a private reading, my website is psychictai.com, psychictai.com. That's all I have to say for now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Always appreciate that. Subscribe for monthly predictions if you have not yet. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.